The Memphis shooting, horrible tragedy that took place yesterday. It was a 19-year-old psychopath.
I don't wag his camera. I pull up and do man. I don't do what them say. No faking. No faking.
This is the shooter?
Yeah, he live streamed it.
Real. Oh, my mama, Kate, how you think I'm playing? Kate, I'm for sure this
Come on, don't
so real, man, guy.
Now, here's something else that I think is important. The gunman was taken, rightfully so, even though I hope that as we go through the legal process, if he's found guilty, he gets fried. But at this point in time, he was appropriately taken into custody alive.
Girl, they got him. Oh, girl, they got him. There you go, right there. There you go, girl. There you go. I got the best seat in my house, and you do too.
This gunman was taken into custody alive. But here's the media when that's not the case.
Did he surrender? Or did he mean
yeah, he was there. He was nonviolent with the police officers when they took him into custody.
Okay.
That's the key piece of information. The problem is the media never actually focuses on that, and you've seen this. Let me just so you believe your lying eyes and your lying ears. Here's the myth they've tried to perpetuate for a long time.
There's also a stark double standard in policing here, because when faced with the deadliest shooting of the year and a suspect who is literally still holding a gun used to allegedly kill 10 innocent people, well, at that moment, police were at the highest possible legal threshold for firing a weapon.
We've talked about this in the past, and people have tried to say that we were wrong. Armed black men are actually less likely to be shot by police officers than armed white men. Now, the statistic is skewed if you just say black men versus white men. Why? Because unarmed black men, that is true, are more likely to be shot. But for the same reason that in many of these examples of these men being brought into custody, the reason that unarmed black men are shot more often than unarmed white men, and it skews the statistics, is that nearly 40% of all assaults on police officers were by largely black men. Some black women, they make up only 13% of the population. We don't know how accurate that is because specifics of race and crime, they're now hard to find. 2008, the Bureau of Justice stopped publishing data on interracial crime.
I wonder why.
So, just to be clear, you can massage these statistics how you want, and people do that, but armed black men, less likely to be shot than armed white men. Okay? Unarmed black men more likely to be shot because they commit an exponentially higher rate of assault against officers. Not because they're black. We need to examine why that is the case, why that is happening, what we can do to address it, because what we've been doing has not worked. But the constant through line, let's try and distill it. I don't think that it's reductive. I think distilling something is, well, it seems as though if you're violent with the police, you're more likely to have a violent conclusion.
Yeah. Well, and that's what the police officers have said. It always comes down to behavior, right? Jacob Blake would probably fit into that statistic as an unarmed black man that was shot by cops, but he was also trying to get to a knife.
Well, okay. It's very interesting that you brought that up. By the way, this kid already had a rap sheet a mile long at the age of 17. 2 counts of attempted murder, reckless endangerment, possession of a firearm, all this. Okay, references are available at loudwithcrowder.com. You mentioned Jacob Blake.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't remember, Jacob Blake was the man who was shot by police officers. And they tried to say a black man being shot by police officers because he's black. Now, if you don't remember Jacob Blake, and this was on video, a woman called the police for help because Jacob Blake was kidnapping his own children. The woman who called already had a restraining order on Jacob Blake because he sexually assaulted her. She was the mother of those children. Jacob Blake not only resisted arrest, not only tried to reach for a knife as the police officers were at first non-violently trying to subdue him, but had found himself at this situation so many times before that he had a knife carve out in his floorboards.
I didn't know that.
They put it under the mat. The point is, he had a safe place for his knife, for the fuzz. He was used to it.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.